So today we're going to be doing some wrist stretches. We're going to start by interlacing the fingers, palms of the hands together, and rolling out those wrists. You can do figure eights, you can do infinity signs, and if you can, try change direction. My brain just won't. But it's nice to challenge yourself in these interesting ways, especially because some days these circles can feel a little bit tedious. If it feels very stiff, very sticky, you may enjoy spending time here. But the more you do this, the less important it feels, because things start to loosen up really nicely. So keep it up, and you won't need it as much, but you'll still need it so that we don't need it as much. Okay, we're going to place the hands onto the ground in front of you. If your knees don't bend too much, you can take the knees a little, or the feet a little bit further back. If you're comfortable to have the hips quite close to the heels, you're welcome to do that as well. Bring the palms onto the floor, nice and close to your body, fingers extended out in front of you. You're going to shift the body forwards, shifting your shoulders over your fingertips until you get a deep stretch into the back of these wrists. You can pulse it, gently leaning forwards and sinking back, leaning forwards and sinking back. So again, if those knees are a limitation, having the hands slightly more forwards will give you a bit more room to keep stretching the wrists without your knees being a limiting factor. As we're doing these stretches, it's also an opportunity to make sure we're not collapsing and dumping into the neck and shoulders. So push strong out of those shoulders, keep your head lifted and aligned as you rock and release and rock and release. We're going to spin the hands around so your fingers turn to face the knees. So the fingers turn outwards away from one another, palms are still on the floor, and then we're going to shift the body weight back again. If you find you have quite a lot of flexibility, you can bring the hands a bit more out in front of you and sink the hips back. So if this is a bit intense, obviously keeping the hands a little closer. If you're looking for a bit more intensity, you can bend the elbows to deepen that fold into the wrists. So maybe you do one elbow at a time, walking it out, if that works for your body. Okay, we release that rotation. So the hands come back into a neutral alignment. We're going to flip the hands upside down so the back of the wrist comes onto the ground and the palm is facing the sky. From here, if you find that the pressure on the back of the wrist is too intense, you're welcome to do one hand at a time. And again, you can pulse it out or you can sustain that stretch. And another little goodie I like to incorporate here is some elbow rotations, just because it intensifies or shifts that stretch in the wrist joints themselves. So we swivel, and it kind of passes the time as well, challenging our brain muscle or brain and joint connections, releasing those hands. Coming upright again, we're going to shake out those wrists, getting some blood flow. As we fold those wrists nice and deeply, it can sometimes restrict some of that blood flow. So getting the blood to return to those extremities. Nice, we return the hands onto the floor and we're going to do some wrist circles out to the side, forwards over the fingertips, out to the other side and leaning back. So again, the further forwards your hands go, the less intense in those knee joints as well. Circle it around. Sort of 5, maybe 10 in the one direction. Feeling the pressure into the palms of the hands, into the outer creases of the base of the hand, and changing direction. Again, head, neck, and shoulders lifted and active. Maybe even the core is getting a bit of work here as we make sure we're not collapsing into the spine, into those shoulder blades. Keep it lifted, keep it strong, reinforcing all of those good habits. 2, and last 1. Lovely, coming back, maybe shake it out, maybe a couple more wrist circles with those hands interlaced. Maybe we're up and relax.